yeah, and I can remember thinking, you know what, just let me have a heart attack in the middle of the night. Just let me go. I don't want to be here. I just don't want to live like this. You know, because there was a decade where I was stuck in this pain, and I feel sorry for that girl. I can remember, you know, when I turned 40, I was so full of grief, absolutely grief-stricken. The sadness was totally overwhelming. I couldn't get out of my own way at all. I was basically, you know, on the floor, breathing and existing, crying most of the time. You know, and now it's such a distant memory. I can remember that that's where I was, but I cannot feel that. You know what, I had always wanted to have children. From the time I was 12, I started babysitting. I come from a huge family. There was 12 kids in my mum's, 5 in mine. And from my earliest memories, all I ever wanted to be was a mother. I didn't have any dreams of being a hairdresser or an accountant or a doctor or any kind of career. I was going to be a mum. It was just the picture that I had, that was what my life was going to be. And I watched everybody else have their kids, and they were growing up, and I still didn't find the man that I wanted to go with it. I mean, I could have, I suppose, went out and got pregnant on my own, but I had this vision. I had this, I don't know, heart set that that's what it was going to be. And, yeah, every year it just got sadder and sadder and deeper, and I just went into myself thinking there's something wrong with me. You know, that's where, you know, it gets to, there's something wrong with me. I'm not good enough, and then I'm not a woman. You know, and how can I be in the same room with all of these people who are talking about their kids and their husbands and this and that, and it was like I didn't fit in anywhere. It could be totally your own, you know, heart and soul is missing something. It is like, you know, you have all of this love and you can't give it. So it's not the same as loss, but when you lose someone, you're grieving for all that love you want to give that person and they're not there anymore. This is, you know, you're grieving because you have all this love and you haven't had the chance to give that love and have that life that you always wanted to have. I told myself that without giving birth or having a child, how could I possibly let go of that grief? How could I possibly move forward? How could I possibly be whole and complete without having that baby that I wanted so desperately? You know, that was a lot of my grief there. But 7 years later, I still do not have that child, but I do not feel that. It's just nowhere in my body. You know, I have a completeness that I never would have imagined. I never thought possible. And I'd never felt that anywhere else in my life before. I had done that Creatrix and released those emotions, that sadness and that grief. I had done counselling. You know, sitting there and talking about it, it just made me feel worse. And as soon as I started talking, all I wanted to do was cry. It never got me anywhere. You know, that talking never got me anywhere. I went to courses, I did programs, you know, I went to 3-day events in Sydney, and I knew that I had to keep working, I had to keep trying, I had to keep looking, because I was the only one who could do it. It had to be me. But every time I tried something, and even occasionally I thought, you know what, this might be it. You know, in that moment, in that atmosphere, in that program, you know, I tried NLP, I tried a lot of other programs as well, Reiki and energy healing and so many other things. And it just always was there. You know, I might have felt good for a couple of weeks, or, you know, I don't think it was ever very much longer than that. But it always came back. It never, any kind of peace, and I don't know as I found peace, but it certainly didn't last. My grief wasn't understood in the way, and I know that most programs out there have been innovated by the male brain, and for me, my personal opinion, you know, we as women have this program, we have the uterus, we have our hormones, we have our cycle, and we were born to create human life. That's just who we are. Whether we choose to, whether we have something go wrong with us, whether for some reason we just can't, we're still female beings who were put here to create life. We were born to have children. And I honestly don't think, and it's not, you can't know what you don't know. And I honestly believe that nothing else that I tried went deep enough, because it didn't understand that that's where this pain was. It was in my heart. It was in my, you know, my uterus, if you want. You know, it was there. It's a female thing that nobody else understands or gets. You know, it's the female part of us that is misunderstood so much in so many different programs. And that was where I think I got this change, this ability to get that peace in my life, because this is a program. Creatrix is a tool that is innovated by women. It is specific to us creator beings, and it, after trying so many things for 40 years, and it went deep into my being, and it healed my heart, my soul, my everything, and gave me the peace and the connection back with me. I reconnected to me. I knew that I was okay regardless of what happened in my life, and regardless of what I had or what I didn't have, which before it was all about what I didn't have and what I was missing and what I was grieving, and I was stuck there. I was so totally stuck before I found Creatrix. But, you know, if I hadn't had Creatrix, I certainly would not have started in any kind of business. I would not have any friends, I don't think. I would not have anyone around me. They would have all left because they had started to already. You know, I had shut myself off, but at the same time, I still wanted to be invited. I wanted to be included. I wanted them to ask me, and then I would say, no, sorry, I can't go. But they had stopped asking as well. No one wanted to be around me. The energy was so toxic. So it's a bit hard to remember, you know, because I don't normally dig deep down into that, in what that pain was. I'm not saying life is easy all the time, because it can come and it can slap you in the face at any given moment. However, I can always, you know, have a cry for 5 minutes, and then I'm back to being me. It doesn't overtake who I am. It doesn't put me on the floor and have me stay on the floor. Over the years, I have had, obviously, as everyone does, stuff happens in business and in your personal life, with your family, you know, illness and all sorts of things happen. But I stay where I am. You know, I can have a cry, and honestly, it never lasts more than 5 or 10 minutes, because it's just like this program where, okay, what's next? Okay, how do we deal with it? Okay, let's get going. It's just this automatic setting that I now have, instead of all of that grief and that sadness, and it's just not there. I am me, and I am totally okay with where I am and what I have and where I'm going, and I'm okay. Yeah.